In this lesson, we're going to talk about your tracking tool metrics. In this case, we're actually going to look at a screenshot from HyperTracker. And so we're going to go through each of these metrics one at a time so you understand what they mean and what they're telling you. So the first set of metrics we've got are clicks and cost per click. And so clicks are exactly that. It's the unique number of people that have visited a web page. And so in the case of HyperTracker, it's the unique number of people that have clicked on your HyperTracker tracking link. Cost per click is the price of each acquired visitor. It's the price of each click, right? And it's this stat that obviously allows you to determine how much it cost you to generate a visitor. Now in HyperTracker, and this is the way that the majority of tracking tools work, whether it's HyperTracker or AdTrax Gold or one of the more newer trackers, they all work the same way. There's two ways that this cost per click number is generated. One, if you enter a fixed cost campaign, for example, let's say you spend $100 to run a solo email ad, and that ad gets you, let's say, 100 clicks. Well, it's going to take the fixed cost for the email solo ad of $100, and it's going to divide it by the 100 visitors, and it's going to show you a $1 cost per click. Now, the other way to set up your HyperTracker campaign is as a pay-per-click campaign. When you do that, you actually enter the cost per click. So if you're paying 10 cents per click, you'd enter that into HyperTracker, and then it would obviously add 10 cents for every single click that you get. Now, the next set of metrics that I want you to understand are actions and clicks to actions. So actions is the total number of actions generated as a result of the visitors that came through this campaign. So in this case, 5,216 unique people clicked on the HyperTracker link. And in this case, 1,478 actions occurred. Now for us, you know that an action is an opt-in. When somebody goes to your lead magnet offer page, enters their email and presses submit and gets to your customer captivation offer page, that is an action. So in this case, this is telling you how many opt-ins you got. Now, clicks to actions is really the opt-in rate, right? Clicks to actions determines the percent of visitors that were then converted into opt-ins. For instance, if HyperTracker showed 72% for clicks to actions, that would mean that on average, out of every 100 visitors to your website, 72 of them opted in. And so that's what that number means. Now, the next metric that I want you to be aware of is this cost per action. And so cost per action determines how much it cost you to generate an opt-in. It's not really a metric that we use, but I just wanted you to understand what it means on your tracking report. The next set of metrics are sales and sales value. And so sales is the total number of sales generated from a particular campaign. And so in your case, that will be the total number of customer captivation offers generated. So in this case, it would be 73 new customers. 73 individuals purchased the customer captivation offer. Now, the sales value is the total amount of money that is generated. And for you, with the way I showed you how to set up your HyperTracker tracking, that includes all of the money that's generated both from the customer captivation offer all the way through to your transaction maximization sequence. And so sales value is really the total amount of sales times the initial product value. So it's the total number of sales, in this case, 73 sales, times the value of the customer captivation offer, also adding in there the maximization offers. So in other words, it's really just the total amount of revenue that was generated from that campaign. And what that means is that, so let's say you created this campaign to be used for a particular Facebook advertisement that you were running. And so it, in this case, it drove 73 sales. You acquired 73 new customers, and those 73 new customers spent $3,568 with you. And that is a combination of some people taking one of the add-on offers, some people taking two, some people taking three, some people taking all of them, some people taking none of them. And so later on, you'll see the average sale. We'll cover so you can see exactly how much a new customer is worth to you. Now, the next set of metrics are cost per sale and clicks to sale. So cost per sale calculates how much it cost you to generate each sale. And it's calculated by taking the campaign cost, what you actually spent, which is calculated. It's either a fixed cost that you enter when you create the campaign, or if it's cost per click, every click increase the campaign cost, divided by the total number of sales. And so it's cost per sale, right? Shows you how much it cost you to generate a new customer. So in this case, it cost us $8.22 to generate a new customer. Now, clicks to sales represents the percentage of unique visitors that were converted into sales. And so this is also not a metric that we often use, because it's just the percentage of clicks on your hypertracker tracking link that get converted into sales. So it doesn't take into account opt-ins or anything like that. It's just clicks that converted into sales. So in this case, 1.40% of the clicks were turned into a sale. Next set of metrics are campaign cost and profit. And so campaign cost is just that. It's the total amount of money that you invested into this campaign, based again or calculated again, either on a cost per click basis or on a fixed cost basis that you entered when you were creating the campaign, like I showed you in the prior lesson. Profit is just that. It's the total amount of gross profit from this campaign, and it's calculated based on the total sales value minus the campaign cost. And so it will take the sales value, in this case the $3,568, and it will subtract the $600 campaign cost, giving us a gross profit of $2,968. Now, Hypertracker calls it, gross profit, or refers to it as gross profit, because it doesn't take into account if there are any costs if you are selling a physical product or shipping a physical product or any shipping costs. But so profit is just, again, it's the total sales value, and then you subtract the campaign cost from that, and it'll tell you what your profit is. Then we've got return on investment. And this is the most important number. You've heard me say that before. Now, return on investment, this calculates the percentage of your campaign cost returned as sales. And so return on investment, ROI, is calculated as sales value divided by campaign cost times 100. And so let me show you how this works. 100% return on investment would mean that 100% of your campaign cost was returned to you and there was no profit generated, meaning that the campaign cost, let's say, was $600 and the sales value was $600. That would be a 100% return on investment. That means 100% of your investment was returned to you, but there's no profit. Anything above 100% ROI represents a profit, and anything below 100% represents a loss based on the campaign cost.